Marco Rubio had a terrible day on Capitol Hill, where he appeared at a hearing as a witness before the United States Senate. Rubio folded under the aggressive cross-examination by senators, particularly the Democratic senators led the way. Democratic senators like Duckworth and Kaine and Schatz and Rosen and others were grilling the Secretary of State. He got very nervous at times, and his nervous habit is to reach for the water bottle and start chugging it. You saw that happen multiple times. Also, Marco Rubio appears to have engaged in numerous instances of perjury for which he should be held accountable. I'll let you form your own opinions if he completely lied the way I formed my opinion that he completely lied. So let me show you what went down at this hearing. First, you have Democratic Senator Tammy Duckworth cross-examining Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, about Donald Trump invoking the Wartime Aliens Act. And Duckworth says, so, are we at war, yes or no, with Venezuela? Do you believe that's an act of war? Let's play this clip.
Thank you. Mr. Secretary, last March, the president invoked the Alien Enemies Act, a notorious wartime law last used for Japanese internment. He said that he was responding to the Maduro regime's supposed invasion or other acts of war against the United States. But in recent weeks, you, the Department of Justice, and our friends across the aisle have repeatedly said that we are not at war with Venezuela. Secretary Rubio, if that is true and we are not at war with Venezuela, will you advise the president to rescind his invocation of the Wartime Alien Enemies Act?
Well, that was a mechanism to remove people from our country that prevent grave danger. So, for example, we know for a fact that Tren de Aragua was a very dangerous gang. In fact, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I may have been the first member of Congress.
This is a wartime act, Mr. Secretary.
Well,
are we currently at war with Venezuela?
No, we're not in a state of war in Venezuela.
Okay, the Supreme Court has described the Alien Enemies Act as a wartime power, our Supreme Court. And before now, the Alien Enemies Act was only invoked during the War of 1812, World War I, World War II, when it was used to intern thousands of innocent civilians. Are you really arguing that the president should be able to wield an internment law?
No, but we're talking about two separate things here. So you're talking about the state of Venezuela, or are describing the regime. And we're talking about, but what the president designated.
Invoked the Alien Enemies Act.
I know, Senator, but let me be clear with you. No, but
next you have Democratic Senator Schatz say, so, is the next plan by the Trump regime to do regime change in Cuba, just so the American people have peace of mind? Can you rule out another regime change? And watch what Rubio says. Here, play this clip.
You're just going to move on to a couple of other issues. Your comments that Havana should be concerned about the Maduro operation is fueling speculation that this administration will turn its sights to Cuba next. Will you make a public commitment today to rule out U.S. regime change in Cuba?
Regime change?
Yes.
Oh, no, I think we would love to see the regime there change. We would like to. That doesn't mean that we're going to make a change, but we would love to see it change. There's no doubt about the fact that it would be of great benefit to the United States if Cuba was no longer governed by an autocratic regime.